No, I'm actually an e-commerce guy. I started my own business. I'm in the middle of building my my own website, and you're mentioning an interesting point where you have like something like Amazon or even eBay, and they within their own website they have all these niches, and they have such a wide variety of products and different individual storefronts within their own business. So how is me, a guy who's just building his own website, going to compete in terms of marketing, in terms of search terms with Amazon or eBay?
Two things. I'll let you know right now that I'm not an Amazon expert by any means. But what I will say is this, and I'm gonna quote one of my favorites, Gary Vee, because I watch him quite a bit. Have patience. It's not gonna happen overnight, but get started because it's really overwhelming. I think because it is like I'm not sure what you do with e-com or what your product line is or what that is, but do you have your own storefront yet on Amazon?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Is it, have you completed every single thing on there? Every image, every,
No, that takes time.
exactly,
Yeah.
it takes time. So I think the thing with something like that is the immediate concern is, how do I compete? Don't worry about that. You're getting started. How do you get started? And take it one thing at a time. You know, it's like, I want to get my Amazon, what is that called? When, you know, the drop shipping, their distribution, like I want to get that set up and I want to get this but this other company, don't worry about what other companies are doing. You may take the same approach, like if there are others in e-commerce doing what you're doing, what are they doing on Amazon? Check that out first. Because part of it, I used to be very, very, very against that kind of competitive research because I just saw it as stealing. I'm just going to take what they did and put it on mine. But it's not about that. It's more about like, hey, they may have things laid out in a certain way. They probably have done it that way for a reason because it's working. So maybe I'll take that as an inspiration. Not stealing, it's an inspiration. But maybe I can put a video here instead of an image there. You know, how are they saying this? Well, I don't really agree with that. Fine. I'm going to say that differently the way I say it here. But you do that little bit of that competitive research first to know if they're successful companies is because people like them for a reason. So, you know, check those out with, again, the eye of respect, not the eye of envy. And then from there, start with just that storefront. Just take it day by day and get that done first. Get one piece done first. Can we curse on this show?
Preferably not.
Okay, then I'll sterilize this. There's a show. There's a great quote. There's a show called Parks and Recreation. There's a character named Ron Swanson, and he, if you haven't seen it, watch the show because I think it's hilarious. But he basically says, don't do anything halfway. Or he says, don't do 10 things halfway. Do one thing all the way. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So rather than getting too concerned with there's all these pieces, how do I get ahead? Well, if you don't have that foundation built, you're not going anywhere. So just be patient. First, get that storefront done, and then make sure you do your research. I'm not going to dive into the technical because I don't know the technical. So, but one thing at a time. Don't try to hawk all your product when you may have something like, oh, I didn't put on when the delivery date was because it's not available yet. Like there's things like that. If you work too fast, you're going to get into trouble, and that can just get you booted off Amazon. So just cross your T's and dot your I's.
So we talked about SEO